My name is Louis, Louis Bank, and I was born December 26, 1914. The only reason I'm still here is apparently God has still got work for me to do. All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning around again, the years keep rolling by. I've found you 1,000 times, I guess you've done the same. But then we lose each other, it's like a children's game. As I find you here again, a thought runs through my mind. Our love is like a circle, let's go around one more time. It comes 1929, I'm 14 years old, I'm supposed to go to high school. Well, I can't go to high school because I'm making a job, I got a job as a caddy, making 40 cents an hour, and because my dad died, and the banks all closed, and my two brothers lost their jobs. So the only guy that's making any money is 40 cents an hour, and I'm making our house payments and buying groceries. When I came down with appendicitis, see, we had a Christian Scientist doctor, and they don't believe in operations. So anyway, on the critical day, he don't show up. So my mother, she got panicky. She said, called our neighbor, Mrs. Cocklemus was her name, and she said, I got a sick boy. And she says, I'd like to, my doctor didn't show up. Says, would you let me know how to get over? So they finally called her doctor, and I think he was like in Roselle, and we were right there near Bartlett, out in the country. Anyway, so he came there about, in the afternoon sometime, and he says, we have to get this boy to the hospital. He ain't going to make it by morning. He won't be here if we don't operate. So anyway, so that's how it comes. So then it broke on the table. Of course, naturally, when it broke like that, they didn't get in a good cleanup job. Maybe it ain't like they have. Like now, all they do is take a little hole and they go in there and clip it out. Well, anyway, so they took out 12 intestines, and then they put in that Murphy button, and like I said, it took six more weeks to pass it. The biggest job that he had, as far as I was concerned, besides raising his children, one of the biggest jobs he had was to ask when he said to the doctor, if I lose the farm, I don't care, but you operate my boy. I mean, in other words, as far as I'm concerned, that was one of the big things in his life that he had. Well, now that was when I was 8 years old. How he became a farmer, he worked in they call it the tank shop, and they did a lot of welding there, and of course the smoke and the dust and stuff like that. Eventually, he was having trouble with his lungs, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you should get a job other than that factory because all that smoke and stuff. And he says, maybe get something out in the open. Well, that's when they decided to buy the farm. Well, they had a beautiful house, a great big barn. We had a cow. We had a horse and buggy. There was a church in Aurora. It was I'd say it was probably a good 2 miles away from us. And one Sunday he decided that he wants to walk to church because we didn't have a car. So he walked to church, and it rained on his way to church, and their service was very long, probably 2 hours. Well, so he walked back home, got home Sunday, came down with pneumonia, he died on Friday. after I got home from the operation, I had older brothers, and they helped on the farm, but I couldn't help on the farm. So I helped my mother. She had twins, a boy and a girl, and I would hold one while she nursed the other one. And then that's when I learned how to cook. I learned how to clean house, and I mean whatever like that, because I helped her. To show you how religious my folks were, we had a neighbor that was a Lutheran. They was Lutheran people. They had 9 children. We had 10. Well, anyway, she said, Mrs. Bank, she says, if you join our church, they will pay off your mortgage, interest-free. You pay it back whenever you know. My mother says, no, we can't do that since we're Catholics, you know. When the banks went busted in 1929, it put the country back so that what we had, work projects in the CCC, you know, Conservation Corps, and the government had to step in and give these people a chance to have something at least to eat. You know, that was tough. It was tough going. Yeah, oh sure, we had the Sears catalog and the Montgomery catalog, but most of the time we just used that for the outdoor privy. Make it, well, 40 cents an hour was a lot of money then. I mean, you know, eventually I got a job working in the factory because I met some of these people at the golf course for 20 cents an hour, because that's all they were paying. Now people don't realize that hey, well, at that time, 20 cents an hour. Now the factories didn't have a union. They have an association. Well, they got together and they decided that that's what they're going to pay. I got to know these nuns, and I used to take them to Starved Rock, and I took them up to Milwaukee, up to Holy in the Hill, and we went all over. In fact, it got to the point where we would stop at different schools, and it got to the point where they said, well, here comes Louie's nuns. I mean, I thought that was wild, but I think they're all gone now. Jeannie didn't smoke or drink, but Jeannie, because of the fact that she was getting a college education, I didn't think that I had any right to date her. So I was trying to fix her up with the fellas, and I lined her up with a couple of guys, but it didn't work out. I bought her a set of golf clubs, and we were out the Big Run. We was playing golf this one day, and that's a hilly golf course. And when we got to the 9th hole, she just laid on the ground. She says, well, this is it. You know, and I said, as far as I was concerned, well, this is it for me too. I wrote her off. Anyway, I got a call from her mother. My mother said, Louie, Eugenia is in a hospital. And she said, I think it'd be kind of nice if you come and visit her. I said, okay. So I used to win box candy at the KC's, and so I took her a box of candy, and that's how we got back together again. I got married, bought a house, and started a machine shop. My brother showed us how to run machines. We started out in my brother's basement. Oh. We put some lathes down there and some drill presses, and we were doing war work. The nuns, they've been so good to me. I mean, in fact, this nun that was the superior, Sister Emil Berga, she, when I decided to buy this house, when we first got married, they wanted $800 down payment. Well, hell, I didn't have a dime. And so she, a relative in Chicago, I think they were spinsters, but they lived there at Cubs Ballpark, and she got a hold of her, and this person, she says, I got a friend of mine that needs $800. So that's how come I got the down payment for my house. And that was another thing. that I pay it back whenever you can, tax-free. So, you know, how lucky can you get? I had some different philosophies. One of my philosophy was that I'm going to send them to a Catholic school so they get a good Catholic education. And my other philosophy was, I also told them, I says, I'll help you as much as I can. If I can't help you, you'll have to try to figure it out. I'd like to have all my children take music lessons because I felt that if you're shy and withdrawn, you take an instrument, you become the center of attraction. 9 of them took lessons. Well, she was a real good mother. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, she was easygoing, and actually, oh sure, we got the first year we had one, and then less than a year she had the next one. One was born on the 27th, the other one on the 19th of the same month. So, well, we had the Irish twins. I mean, God gave you certain talents. He gave me certain talents. I mean, some of us can be lawyers, some of us can be doctors, but He also gave us responsibilities. And those responsibilities are how we treat other people and dealing with people. How much respect do we have? How much are we concerned about the welfare of other people? If you think you're in charge, don't kid yourself, because God gives you certain responsibility, and He's guiding your life. But if you pray on it, I prayed. So I prayed. I says, I'm not looking for a miracle. All I'm looking for is guidance. And so I sit there a little while like that. And I said, well, hey, why don't you try the backswing? It's right in the next room. I got on this backswing. I go up once, twice, 3 times. My back's okay. It's been ever since. I decided I'm going to write a book. So every day I would wake up at like maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Something would come into my mind. Well, I'd come out to the kitchen here, and write down. I felt that the Holy Spirit was telling me what to do. If you were baptized, as far as I'm concerned, the Holy Spirit was implanted in you. That's where we get our inspiration. You know, people don't realize it. You got inspiration. There's an inspiration in all of us to do right. Try that. You're baptized, and God is planted in you, and He will stay there. And you can, well, you've probably heard it before. Hey, all you have to do is knock, and the door will be open. And the Holy Spirit is there to listen. As far as my philosophy, I mean, I don't worry about a thing, because what happens is that if you worry about something and you don't even do anything about it, and then the day comes and everything's all cleared up, you say, what was I worried about? You know, I mean, and that's what life is all about. All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning around again, the years keep rolling by. I've found you 1,000 times, I guess you've done the same. But then we lose each other, it's like a children's game. As I find you here again, a thought runs through my mind. Our love is like a circle, let's go around one more time.